Hello YouTube, it is your boy Atticus and I am back with you. It's been a minute. It's been, a week and some change. I've been getting ready for school, the fall semester, so yeah, I had to take a little time off to, get my house in order, but yeah. So yeah, I'm back with you guys. Hopefully I'll get to a more consistent schedule now. I know I've said that before, but yeah, you know how it is. If any of you guys are fellow students, when you're trying to balance that out and work, and sometimes you just get behind. So I have a backlog of like 4, 5, 6, 7 different games I want to cast. So I'll get to it, guys. I'm gonna maybe try to pick up to like 2 a day now. I have a lot of cool 2v2s with my buddy Namru that we did also that I think worthy of casting. But this one I wanted to show you guys because I think I have found a pretty reliable anti-Bretonia build. And this thing I've tested 4 or 5 different times with my friend, against people on ladder. And yeah, it seems to consistently beat Bretonia. So I'm going to go ahead and show it to you guys real quick. So what you do here is you take good old Teclis. And for my spell loadout, you can see, guys, that I just brought Feebling Foe, Flock of Doom, the Healing Spell, and the Net of Amatok. I also got a Noble on a horse. I'm using that for the anti-piercing, armor-piercing, anti-large. Also, guys, you can see I have a front line of spears. And these spears here, let's see here. Did I put chevrons on these guys? I can't remember if I did. I guess not. So, okay, yeah, so I took 4 units of spears with the Scions of Mathalon in the front. And these guys will give a very good ward save to units around them. So, a whole front line of anti-large, and these guys will trade pretty good with Bretonian infantry, except for maybe foot squires. But, they'll be able to hold things in place and allow, as you guys can see here, my huge archer contingent. So, I've also brought in 5 units, guys. 5 units of Lothar Sea Guard with shields, and typically you're going to see Bretonia use the whole like 3-4 archer build, which is a lot of pressure. They'll have the poison or the fire damage, and you're getting cycle charge. So by taking 5 of these units, you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're killing his archers. And you're also having a way to kill his cavalry if he wishes to charge in. Also, you guys, you can see I brought the Ever Queen's Court Guard, and the reason I bring this, guys, with this build, besides its DPS, is the Ever Queen's Court Guard actually give you an increase to your Winds of Magic. So it won't let me click on it, but it's that bottom right icon there. So yeah, so if you're using a Caster Lord and you're using some expensive spells like the Net of Amatok, and so on, yeah, these guys will give you more mana. So think of it the same way that a Hero Titan does, or a Casket of Souls. They give the same effect, so it's really handy. As long as you can protect these guys, they'll melt things. They have the magic fire damage, and yeah, they'll make Teclis even more proficient at his job. Also, we brought the Keepers of the Flame, and these guys, they're just great all around. They have a death whirl, I think it is. Whenever they die, they explode, killing another unit. So, yeah, these guys will shred through Bretonian cavalry. So, yeah, that's my setup, guys. So, pretty much all anti-large, a lot of range potential. I have a Lord who has, a lot of, I have nets, I have healing, a Feebling Foe, I got a Noble for protection. And, yeah, so this is a really good build against Bretonia. And you guys will see here in a minute. We're going to try it out. As for my opponent, guys, he brought King Luan, which, hey, I'm not the biggest Bretonia player or fan, but yeah, I have to admit he is pretty good, and he's pretty good in this matchup because he has a lot of those good debuffs. He also has, looks like, some Royal Pegasus Knights. So yeah, these guys are scary. Let's look at their stats real quick. 80 armor. If they do magic damage, they're living saints, so they won't get tired, and yeah, they have a pretty good charge bonus. My problem with these ones is the low model count and also their mass. They seem to get bogged down a lot. So if you're trying to cycle charge with them, it's a little bit harder. But yeah, besides that though, these guys are really good. So, excuse me. He also brought a front line of 3 peasants here, supported by 2 peasant bowmen. And it looks like he went more peasants in the back to protect. Look at this, guys. 3 field trebuchets. And this is actually a really good... against High Elves, taking the trebuchet is a really good option. My buddy Namru is actually the one who kind of let me in on this, saying that these, this is one of the best matchups for him. Just because, you have all that high high cost infantry, and it's always good to have a counter to that. To have something that could deal with him, since you're going to be at a disadvantage in the infantry fight. And by having 3 of these, that's really scary, guys. I mean, he can focus my Ever Queen's Court Guard, my Phoenix Guard. So it forces me to have to respond to him, because I can't just sit there and trade shots, because I'll lose my most valuable units. So yeah, he has those. The peasant mobs here in the back. Let's see if there's any more infantry that I'm missing. So it looks like he's just going really elite cavalry, trebuchets, and peasants just to bog me down. Also, you can see he has 2 units of Grail Knights. Take that back, 3 Grail Knights. And yeah, these guys, are these the anti-large ones? Yes, these are the ones that have the 106 charge bonus. So these guys are beasts. But luckily for me, guys, I have all that anti-large and charge defense. So we're gonna see how it goes, guys. So I've talked long enough. Let's go ahead and get this battle started and see how it goes. So right off the bat, I'm gonna go ahead and move my army up. I see the trebuchets, and the first thing I think is, all right, I need to get my spearmen to munch through his peasants to shut those things down. And also, in this beginning engagement, it's really important to if you have all your units grouped, usually I'll pick one unit that I'm going to use to maybe scare away his lord or his cavalry, and I'll put them in a separate group. And I'm just trying to keep my formation, trying to strategize my battle plan as I move up. As you can see right here, guys, I'm already taking a little bit of early damage, but he's not hitting the most ideal shot. He probably wants to hit the Ever Queen or the Phoenix Guard, and he will eventually switch over to it, as you'll see. So yeah, we're moving up, and he's going to start getting in his position of his different cavalry units, and he has some of the most elite units, Bretonia has to offer. But he doesn't have any juicy targets, minus the Ever Queen's Court Guard, but you can see they're protected by a wall of anti-large. Over here, guys, you can see that the Phoenix Guard, the Keepers of Flame, are now getting hit by the trebuchet. That's scary. That hurts, but I am going to use a heal on them, and I'm going to try to keep those guys alive. Here you can see that all my units have silver shields, so they're going to be protected from his archers. So yeah, this is really good for me, guys, and I'm going to be able to return fire, and yeah, these guys will just get melted. Also, since he can't really charge anything, it allows me to separate my range force from my my infantry frontline force. The spears can pretty much protect themselves, and you can see just how quick we've dealt with those peasant bowsmen. Over here, you're going to see I'm going to start getting a little early pressure on with my Lutheran Sea Guard, and it's not going to really do much damage, but it is going to, kind of keep him honest, kind of keep him from, trying to snipe my lord. Over here, I'm going to dedicate a force to try to screen out these Grail Knights, and yeah, at this moment, guys, you can see he went this really heavy cavalry, but his infantry line suffers, and since he can't really, charge in on them, he's trying to focus on my range contingent. It's allowing me to break through. He is going to get a really good rear charge into my Lutheran Sea Guard, and that's unfortunate, guys, because I didn't have them braced. But we are busting through, and these peasants, we're going to get to the goody shit. The honey pot here with those trebuchets. Once we shut those down, we're going to be really good off. So over here, guys, you can see he has got he's been cycle charging, getting some attacks with his Grail Knights, but I am going to get a really good net here, and this is going to allow me to get my Phoenix Guard into position and hopefully do some damage. Over here, you can see that the the Ever Queen's Court Guard have been focused on the Grail Knights, but I mismicroed. I'm sitting there chasing these guys and allowing these guys to get into my archers, which is unfortunate. I do send my noble over here to try to screen out those guys, and I have overlapping fields of fire through all my my Sea Guard. So as you guys can see here, my strategy is if one unit's attacked, another unit can hit them. And even though it's not going to do a lot of damage since they don't have a lot of armor piercing, it is guaranteed damage whenever they come in melee because of their anti-large. So over here we have broken this one unit of Grail Knights, and we finally do get a unit into the trebuchets. And this is good for me. We can finally get that pressure off my units and allow me to deal with the cavalry better. Over here, you can see that I was facing the wrong way, and he does get a really good rear charge into my Grail Knights. But, the noble is right on their tails. I am going to cast a healing on my Ever Queen's Court Guard, just because these guys are such good damage dealers. I want to keep them alive. They have the magical damage, which will be able to bypass the physical resist of the Grail Knights. Over here, you can see that we have... Who's he fighting over there? King Louis is trapped in some Sea Guard right now, and that's okay. It's bogging him down. He's doing damage, And yeah, so we're gonna have another charge over the Grail Knights, but this time they were braced, so it wasn't much damage. And you can see, guys, just all this different ranges just forcing, no matter where he goes and what he does, he's always gonna be hit. So you can see that I do get a net off on these Grail Knights here. And I have the Noble, and I'm just trying to, just lock them down and do damage. Now that I've cleared this right side, I can start sending my sisters in. Or, excuse me, using my sisters to get their guaranteed magic damage. And yeah, those 3 units of Grail Knights, you guys just can't really, stack up to that. Yeah, this is, like I said, a really good counter to it. As for the infantry fight, guys, you get to see the spearmen have been... there's nothing been able to stop them. They dealt with the infantry, now they're in the artillery pieces, and this is just going really good for me. So now it's just a matter of just cleaning up, the cycle charge units, the Pegasus Knights, and King Louis. You can see that, these guys in the air as I'm shooting, I'm sending my Noble in to hit with King Louis, and at this point, guys, there's not, it's looking really good for me. Look at all this anti-large, and his army. I mean, that's a deadly army. You think about it. 3 Grail Knights, Pegasus Knights, King Louis, 3 Trebuchets. I mean, and a lot of different builds. If I want to win a different build, that could have really wrecked me. So, yeah, but you can see right now we're pretty much cleaning things up. He is getting a little, cycle charge in when he can, but, every second that he's attacking me, he's taking archery fire. And, yeah, it's just it's any time now. There ain't really much he could do. We've broken his infantry line, and yeah, we finished the Lord. So yeah, that is probably the safest High Elf build that I could think of. And like I said, I've tested it 5, 6, 7 different games, guys, and it worked every time. So let's go ahead and look at the in-screen breakdown. I mean, look at the numbers, guys. The front line, the spearmen did great. They chewed through the peasants. They were protected through the spears. If he tried to focus his cavalry on them, they'd be able to protect themselves, and they finally did get into the trebuchets. Teclis did good. He had his nets. He got some heals in. The Noble did its job trying to screen out, the units. As for the archers, yeah, I mean, they did good. I mean, a lot of their shots weren't armor piercing, so they weren't doing as much damage. But whenever they came in close for the cycle charge, they that's where they did their damage. The Keepers of the Flame, they didn't really do too much, but they kept my my opponent from getting too friendly with my archers. As for my opponent, this was a really unique build, I guess. This guy did say he was top 10 on ladder, or was at some point, so we played a few games. Maybe I'll cast the other ones we did. I think we played 5 games. I beat him 3, and he beat me twice. But as for this build, I mean, I could see this build working in certain matchups. I probably would have invested a little bit higher, though, maybe a few units of swordsmen or something, just to, if you're going to invest this much into field trebuchets, having at least one unit that could hold a little bit longer probably would have paid off. But yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope this build helps you out against Bretonia. I am curious to think what a Bretonia counter to this would be. So if any of you guys are Bretonia mains and want to leave in the comments what you would do to fight an army like this, I'd be really curious to read that. So alright, guys, it's Atticus, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.